What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a new set of Call of Duty leaks. That's right, a random game has really entered the chat here. This is not a game that we talk about leaks for very often, but this is pretty cool. I think it can lead to some pretty cool discussions, okay? And so we know already that there will be a Call of Duty game in 2021. Activision has already confirmed that there will be a main installment, like an actual, a AAA game around this fall, okay? Probably around October, November, like it always is. And this comes from Reddit, but it comes from a leaker that's been before. Normally, when we talk about Reddit leaks in general, they are not, I would say, normally to be trusted, but this one, I would say, is leaning more towards it. And this person says it'll take place during World War II again, and that's pretty much the biggest thing. Now, PlayStation Universe, the article that I got this from, talks about how Sledgehammer Games is reportedly working on it, but they don't make it insanely clear whether or not this leaker said it or not, or if it's just kind of assumed. Now, it would be assumed that this would be Sledgehammer Games' game, okay? But I don't see, that at least from the only place I see, there was a person that tweeted to him and said World War III, and he said World War II, or WW2. I gotta be careful with how I say it, because obviously YouTube is pretty nasty, especially with things like that. And the website says, with speculation suggesting it'll be set in the Pacific theater instead of the European setting of Call of Duty World War II, which was obviously that game. And that's pretty much it. Now, that's not a lot, right? But I honestly think it's interesting, and I would honestly go so far as to say that it's good. The tough thing that the Battlefield games or the Call of Duty games, really any of the, I guess even like Medal of Honor, if you want to go back all the way, back then, right? They do have a tough time when deciding whether to keep it old, whether to go back in the past, and whether they tell a historically accurate story or they do their own thing, but they obviously, center it around a certain time period or setting or whatever, versus going into the future and then telling the story of literally the future. So obviously they say WW3 going forward, and obviously like Advanced Warfare, like it's been done before where they do go forward. I do think generally the older stuff going like backwards in time is better. It just seems to work better for these kind of games. Now, you'd imagine eventually you would run out of them, but it doesn't seem like that's happening. And honestly, they go so far for this game. I mean, they've already done a game in that setting, and so just doing it in a separate, like a different area during the exact same time period. Obviously, I mean, it makes sense. It's not something that I necessarily would have thought of. We always kind of talk about, would they do, you do WW1, you do WW2, do you do these kind of miscellaneous wars in between? Well, nobody ever said you couldn't do the exact same war twice and just have a couple different settings for it, right? So, honestly, I do think it's a good thing. Call of Duty games, especially the single player, I know they sometimes get bagged on. I haven't played a Call of Duty game in actually quite a few times, quite a few iterations. I still respect the franchise quite a bit. I definitely respect the story. I used to really come down hard on the story. I used to actually really hate the idea of Call of Duty stories. I've accepted them now for what they are, which is honestly normally just a lot of fun. I mean, they tell some of the most condensed, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of just like pure action, and like everything is just happening. It's just set. It's like a Michael Bay film, but a lot better than that in a game for like a set period of time. And I'm actually always impressed with how they do it. And that honestly can be elevated by doing different time periods and even going into the future. And again, they've done that before, but I don't think there's anything wrong with retelling a situation or a setting they've already been in. So we still have a little bit while to wait. Remember, last year for the last Call of Duty, they waited longer than I think they've ever waited before to announce that thing. I think they announced it in late August, early September, which was the absolute latest they've ever done. Normally, they announce it around the May, June, July period, like somewhere in that range, but normally June. So hopefully, we're only a few months away from seeing it again. Hopefully, the stuff around the world will have it. They managed to do it. Now, they got several studios making these games. It's not just one. Obviously, they kind of alternate, right? It's something that, if Call of Duty were to miss its its release or its placeholder date, that would be quite something. Okay, so hopefully we end up seeing it. Hopefully we end up seeing it actually earlier than we saw last year's version, right? So let me know, guys, in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea to kind of retell the same battles that were happening, just from maybe a different area in the world at the time? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video on this channel every single day. And so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.